Silver was exploding. Prices were flying. Everyone was talking about it. Some people were even calling it the next gold rush. And then, suddenly, everything changed. So what just happened? Why did silver go from one of the hottest assets in the market to suddenly dropping hard and confusing investors all over the world? And the biggest question right now, is this a crash or just a setup for the next massive move? Let's break it down. Just a few weeks ago, silver was on an insane rally. Prices had surged close to the $100 mark, and in some projections, even higher levels were being discussed. Investors were rushing in. Social media was full of hype. Everyone felt like silver was unstoppable. But this didn't happen randomly. There were real reasons behind the boom. First, industrial demand was skyrocketing. Silver isn't just a precious metal. It's heavily used in solar panels, electric vehicles, and advanced electronics. As the world pushed harder toward clean energy and technology, demand for silver surged. That created a strong foundation for prices to rise. At the same time, inflation fears were growing. When people worry about the value of money dropping, they move into hard assets like gold and silver. This added more fuel to the rally. And then came the investors. Big money started flowing into silver. Hedge funds, institutions, and retail traders all jumped in. The momentum kept building. And once the hype started, it fed on itself. Because in markets, momentum is everything. When people see prices going up fast, they don't want to miss out. That fear of missing out, FOMO, pulls even more buyers into the market. And that's exactly what we saw. Silver wasn't just rising. It was accelerating. But here's the truth most people ignore. Markets don't move in straight lines, and when something rises too fast, it often falls just as fast. Now let's talk about the crash. Because what we're seeing right now is not random panic. There are clear reasons behind this drop. One of the biggest factors is the strength of the US dollar. When the dollar becomes stronger, metals like silver usually fall. Why? Because silver is priced in dollars. A stronger dollar makes silver more expensive for global buyers, reducing demand. And right now, the dollar has been holding strong. Another major factor is interest rates. The Federal Reserve has not been quick to cut rates. In fact, expectations for rate cuts have been pushed further out. High interest rates make non-yielding assets like silver less attractive. Investors start moving their money into bonds or other assets that actually generate returns, so money begins to flow out of silver. And then comes the most important factor of all, profit taking. Think about it. If you bought silver at $50, $60, or even lower, and suddenly it shoots up near $100, what would you do? You'd take profits. And that's exactly what big players are doing. When large institutions start selling, it creates pressure on the market. Prices begin to fall. And once the fall starts, it triggers something even more powerful. Fear. This is where market psychology kicks in. At the top, people are driven by greed. Everyone thinks prices will go even higher. No one wants to sell. But once prices start dropping, that greed quickly turns into fear. And fear spreads fast. Retail investors who bought near the top begin to panic. They start selling to avoid bigger losses. This adds even more downward pressure. And just like that, a strong rally turns into a sharp correction. This is the cycle of every market. Boom, hype, peak, and then correction. Now here's the part that really matters. What happens next? Is silver going to crash even more? Or is this actually a buying opportunity? Let's look at the levels. Right now, silver is trading roughly in the $65 to $75 range after dropping significantly from its highs. There are two key scenarios to watch. If silver breaks below the $65 level, we could see further downside. The next major support zone is around $60. If panic selling increases or macro conditions worsen, prices could move toward that level. And if that happens, a lot of investors will start calling this a full crash. But there's another side to the story. If silver manages to hold this support and starts moving back above the $75 to $80 range, it could signal strength. That would mean buyers are stepping back in. And from there, we could see a recovery toward $85 or even higher levels. So right now, the market is at a critical point. This is what traders call a decision zone. The next move will likely define the short-term trend. In the short term, volatility is expected to remain high. Prices may continue to swing up and down as the market reacts to economic data, Federal Reserve signals, and global events. But what about the long term? This is where things get interesting, because despite the current drop, the long-term outlook for silver is still strong. The demand for clean energy is not going away. Solar panels require silver. Electric vehicles require silver. Industrial use is expected to keep growing over time. At the same time, supply constraints could become an issue. Mining output is not increasing at the same pace as demand, and when demand grows faster than supply, prices eventually go up. That's a fundamental rule. So while the short-term trend may look weak or uncertain, the long-term story is still bullish. But timing matters. Buying at the top is risky. Waiting for corrections can provide better opportunities. And that's why understanding market cycles is so important. Right now, we are likely in the correction phase after a massive rally, not the end of the trend, but a pause, a reset, a moment where weak hands exit the market and strong hands prepare for the next move. So the real question is not just why is silver crashing? The real question is, are you reacting emotionally or thinking strategically? Because the biggest mistake most investors make is chasing hype at the top and selling in fear at the bottom. And the market rewards those who do the opposite. Stay calm when others panic. Be cautious when others are greedy. That's how smart money operates, and that's the mindset you need if you want to succeed in markets like this. So where do you think silver is heading next? Is this just a temporary drop before another rally? Or the beginning of a bigger correction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Because in markets like this, timing and information can change everything. Stay smart, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.